morning, viewers, and welcome to the program. Today we bring you the 10th contest in the preliminary series of this year's National Science and Maths Quiz Competition. Our contestants today are from Achimota School and Koforidua Tech. Koforidua Tech School is to my immediate right and represented by...
I'm Nathaniel, SS3.
Carl Michigan, SS3. Asamoah Joshua, SS3.
Achimota School is to the far right and represented by...
Richard Osafu, SS3.
Stephen Engman, SS3.
Marin Kionoa, SS3.
Yes, this year we've had our co-ed schools presenting more females than they did last year. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the program. We have 5 rounds of competition. As a general rule, any student from each school may answer the question posed to their school. In round 1, you will have 15 seconds within which to give me an answer. A correct answer to a major question earns you 3 points, and a bonus question answered correctly earns you 1 point. Bonus questions are to be attempted only once. Koforidua Tech, your question. How many sides has a pyramid with a hexagonal base? 1 attempt only. Carl. Yes, Carl.
7.
I'm sorry. Marie.
10 sides.
It's not 10, and the answer is 12. The answer is 12. The consultant said 1 attempt only because he didn't want them to keep going on and on. Your question at Achimota School. How many vertices has a pyramid with an octagonal base? Marie?
9.
And 9 is correct. Your question, Koforidua. Explain why water has a higher boiling point than H2S, although the molar mass of water, that is H2O, is less than that of H2S. Yes, Carl.
This is due to hydrogen bonding, which is found in water. Therefore, breaking the OH bonds is very difficult than
I'll give you the math. Achimota, explain why the intermolecular hydrogen bonding in ethanol is greater than in propanol. Yes, Richard.
For the intermolecular bonding in ethanol is hydrogen bonding. For the ethanol, it is a metal group which is attached to the carbon containing the OH group.
I won't take that. I can't even hear you. Koforidua Tech for a bonus. Yes, Carl.
This is due to inductive effect. That is, when the carbon atoms are less, therefore, when an electron is being withdrawn from the OH group, it is felt at the carbon atom more than the propanol.
I won't take that for bonus. You see, when you are told to distinguish one thing from the other, it should be clear exactly what you're talking about. In ethanol, hydrogen is bonded directly to an electronegative atom, whereas this is absent in propanol. And because of the high electronegativity, it's more difficult. The question was, why is the intermolecular hydrogen bonding greater? So it's the high electronegativity that makes the bonding greater. Write your question, Koforidua Tech. State 2 factors that affect the resistance of a conductor. Just 2 factors. Carl.
The length and then temperature.
Yes, Joshua.
The resistivity of the material and the length.
Now you're making it worse. I'll give you 2 out of 3. And that's because the first person said temperature. That's because Carl said temperature. We have temperature, the presence of impurities, stress and strain, and changing magnetic fields. Your question at Achimota School. What is meant by junction in an electrical circuit? Stephen.
A junction in an electrical circuit is a barrier which divides two conductors such that there can be movement of charges from one point to the other across the barrier.
Stephen, I won't take that. Koforidua for a bonus. Carl.
It is when two or more conductors are being joined at a particular point. They have a particular point of junction. And current can either flow into the junction or leave the junction.
And I won't take that. That is not true. It is not. It is the point where three or more conductors meet, not two or more. Where you have two meeting, the current can still just bend over and go. It's when you have three or more conductors. That is where you say you have a junction in an electrical circuit. Your question, Koforidua Sektek, with which group of organisms would you associate polyp and medusa? Carl.
Gastropods.
No, not gastropods. Carl again.
Insecta.
Hey, no. Stephen, what's your hand up?
Coral.
No. The whole group of organisms, and it's the Nigerians. Your major question, Achimota, with which group of organisms would you associate halter? No. Yes, Stephen again.
Cestodes.
No, that is not true. Carl for a bonus.
Diptera.
Diptera is correct. Your question, Koforidua Sektek. Define the standard enthalpy of neutralization. Yes, Joshua.
There's an enthalpy change when 1 mole of H plus or hydrozonium ion reacts or is neutralized by OH ion from a base. It's an enthalpy change when 1 mole of H plus from an acid reacts with 1 mole of OH from a base. Under standard conditions.
And that is correct. Yeah. It has to be under standard conditions. Your question, Achimota School. Define the standard enthalpy of combustion. Yes, Stephen.
This is the amount of energy evolved when 1 mole of a substance is burnt in excess oxygen at standard temperature of 298 Kelvin and 1 atmosphere pressure.
I'll give you the math. And the substance has to be burnt completely. Your question, Koforidua Sektek, define EMF, electromotive force. Carl.
It is the total work done when a unit positive charge is moved in a circuit from a point to the other. It is the total work done.
Yes, Joshua.
There's an EMF across the terminals of a battery when there is no current flowing through it.
Oh boy, Carl, finish up.
It is.
I'll give you 2 out of 3. Yeah, it's the total work done when you move your unit charge in the whole circuit. And that's what you wanted to say, but again, matter of expression, and you have to work on that. I've noticed the 2 out till this point. Your question, Achimota School. Define PD, potential difference. PD, potential difference. Yes, Richard.
The potential difference is the work which is done in driving charges across the external resistance in a circuit.
Stephen, do you want to try?
The work done per unit charge when the work done when the unit positive charge is moved from one point to another on a conductor.
No, I won't take that. To Koforidua Sektek for a bonus.
It is the work done when a unit charge is moved across an external conductor in a circuit.
No. And that was what Joshua was going to give me the other time. You had already given me the right answer for EMF, so I took your answer. It is the work done in moving a unit charge across the terminals of a cell in a circuit. Your question, Koforidua Sectec. Find the domain of the function f of x equals 1 over x squared minus 4. And x squared minus 4 is your denominator. Carl?
X is equal to plus or minus 2.
And that is correct. Achimota, find the domain of the function f of x equals square root of x. Stephen?
X such that x is a real number, but x is not less than 0.
Again?
X such that x is a real number, but x is not less than 0.
I'll give you the math. In other words, x must be greater or equal to 0. All non-negative real numbers. Your question, Koforidua Sectec. Give me 3 cell structures that can be seen under a light microscope. Carl?
The nucleus, the nucleus, mitochondria, and endoplasmic reticulum.
I'll give you 1 out of 3. I said, give me 3 cell structures that can be seen under a light microscope. And you're saying nucleus, mitochondria, endoplasmic reticulum. 1 out of 3. We'll talk about that later. Achimota School, your question. Give me 3 cell structures that can be seen under an electron microscope, but not under the light microscope. Yes, Stephen?
Centrioles, endoplasmic reticulum, and mitochondria.
And that is correct. So, Carl, there's no way you'll see mitochondria and endoplasmic reticulum under the light microscope. That's what you have in the laboratory, the ordinary compound microscope. You'll have to use an electron microscope to do that. And on that note, viewers, we come to the end of round 1. At the end of round 1, here are the scores. Achimota School has 12 points. Koforidua Sectec has 15 points. Are we in for another upset? Well, let's go on and find out. We'll move on to the applied science round, and that, of course, is round 2. Again, you have 15 seconds most times to give me an answer. In a few instances, you will have 30 seconds because questions will involve calculation. As usual, you earn 3 points for a major question answered and 1 point for a bonus question answered. I'll start with you, Achimota School. Give 1 chemical substance used as an antiseptic. Yes, Marie?
Chlorine gas.
Not chlorine gas. 1 chemical substance. Yes, Richard?
Zinc oxide.
Again?
Zinc oxide.
No, not zinc oxide. Antiseptic. Antiseptic. Koforidua Sectec. Yes, Nathaniel?
Copper oxide.
No. And I have here iodine, junction violet, KMNO4, TCP, and hydrogen peroxide, which is H2O2. Now, Koforidua Sectec, distinguish between antiseptics and disinfectants. Distinguish between antiseptics and disinfectants. Yes, Carl?
Disinfectants are chemical substances which are employed to get rid of infection, an infected place. When a place is infected with microbes or any other harmful microscopic, but antiseptic are
Achimota for a bonus. Stephen?
Disinfectants are very strong, so they cannot be used on the body. But antiseptics are mild, so they can be used on the body. And both
I'll give you the math. Yeah, both kill microorganisms, but disinfectants are really harsh and harmful or toxic to the human body, so you won't use a disinfectant on your body. Your question at Achimota School: how is accommodation of the human eye achieved?
This is due to the flexible nature of the lens and also the ligaments joining the lens to the ciliary muscles. So when the ciliary muscles contract, they cause the lens to thicken so that objects that are nearer can be focused on the retina. And then when the ciliary muscles relax, they cause the lens to be stretched out so that objects far away can be also focused.
And I'll give you the math. Your question, Koforidua Sektek. Explain how a person with apparently healthy eyes may be blind. Carl.
The person has, there is the inability of images to be formed on the retina. That is, the person may be deficient of the vitamin, the compound retinol, which may be used to synthesize eye pigment.
No to Achimota for a bonus. Yes, Stephen.
Okay, the vitreous humor is frequently drained out from the eyeball. So when the speed with which the vitreous humor is draining out is not the same as it's being refilled, then there's a pressure created in the eyeball, and this can cause the lens to be
No. You see, it could be due to a damage of the optic nerve. It's the optic nerve that has to transmit impulses to the brain for you to then interpret them and see. So your eye may be okay, but if the optic nerve, which nobody sees, is damaged, then you can't see. And also there could be a damage to the posterior part of your brain responsible for sight. So even though impulses may be transmitted there, you don't register that, and those are the reasons. Your questions at Achimota School. Is it possible for you to see someone in a mirror without the person seeing you? Explain. Richard.
No, it is not possible to see someone in a mirror without a person seeing you. And the reason being that there is a law of visibility of light, so that if the light rays are able to travel through a certain direction for you to see, there is also a possibility that the light rays will also leave that same point and travel.
And that is correct. Koforidua Sektek, if a virtual image cannot be formed on a screen, why is it possible to take a photograph of an image in a mirror which is virtual? Yes, Carl.
This is because though the image in the mirror is virtual, there is another form of light rays which leave the mirror into the light sensitive part of the camera, which is the film, and the film is able to register the light which is formed on it. That is, a real image will be formed on the film of the camera.
You said there's another package of rays that are coming from the mirror. Where are these rays coming from?
They are reflected rays from the mirror. That is the incident ray which are reflected into the camera.
I'll give you 2 out of 3. It is you, the real body. There are rays from you hitting the mirror, and these are now reflected. So it's the rays from you that are reflected into the camera, and that is what you then capture in your photograph. Your clarity of expression is very necessary. Achimota School, your question. Find the number base if the sum 59 plus 135 equals 293 is true. Richard.
It's base 12.
It's not base 12. Stephen.
Base 6.
It's not base 6, Richard.
And base 11.
And base 11 is right. Koforidua Sektek, find the number base if the subtraction 160 minus 86 equals 63 is true. Joshua.
Base 9.
Base 9 is correct. Achimota, why is the inside of a camera painted black? Richard.
The inside of a camera is painted in black so that it will be able to absorb all light rays which focus on it. As such, if it is not black, it will be able to reflect the light rays, and the image which will be produced on the phone will be black.
I'll give you the mark. Koforidua Sektek, your question, what would happen if there were no reflection of light? What would happen if there were no reflection of light? Carl.
One couldn't see.
Why?
Because the retina of the eye is supposed to pick supposed to pick any reflected light from an object so that the mind will interpret it.
All right. Achimota School, explain why the mode of feeding by tilapia is referred to as filter feeding. Yes, Marie.
This is because when food and water enters the buccal cavity of the tilapia, it flows over the gill filaments, and over the gill filaments, the gill bar and the gill rakers. And as the food flows over the gill filaments, the food particles are trapped in the gill rakers, and these are then sent into the stomach through the esophagus.
I'll give you the mark. In other words, your food particles are filtered off by your gill rakers, and that is why that type of feeding is called filter feeding. Your question, Koforidua Sektek, explain why the mode of fertilization in angiosperms is referred to as double fertilization. Carl.
This is because the pollen nucleus divides into the generative nucleus divides into two male gametes, which then fuse with the ovum of the plant, and it is directed to the two polar nuclei by the synergids for it to be fertilized into the primary endosperm, and the fertilization with the ovum forms the zygote. That is, there are two forms of fertilization at a go.
I'll give you the mark. Now this is to both schools. Which metal or metal ore is associated with the names of the following places in Ghana? Which metal or metal ore is associated with the names of the following places in Ghana? At Achimota School, you have Awasu, Mount Ejamina, and Yenahin. Stephen?
Diamond.
No. And I'll give you one last chance.
Bauxite.
Bauxite is correct. And your town in Ghana is Nsuta, Koforidua Sektek. Nsuta, Carl?
Manganese.
That is correct. Last two questions of round 2. Achimota, your question. A wheel has a diameter of 2.1 meters. How many rotations will the wheel make in order to cover a distance of 6.6 kilometers? Take pi to be 22/7. Richard? Richard, not 100. Watch it. It's not 100. Yes. Richard?
It's 1,000.
It's 1,000. Koforidua Sektek, your final question for this round. A wheel of diameter 1.4 meters makes 120 rotations per minute. Find the speed of the wheel in meters per second. Take pi to be 22/7. Carl?
8.8 meters per second.
And that is correct. And on that note, we come to the end of round 2. Viewers, at the end of round 2, the tide has turned, but it is still anybody's contest. Koforidua Sectech has 32 points and Achimota School has 34 points. Let's move on to round 3, the problem of the day. In this round, contestants have 3 minutes within which to solve the same problem posed to them. After which they would go to the board to present their solutions. I will give my solution, compare, and award marks. Please turn over your sheets, contestants. Now read the problem of the day. Fill in the blanks in the following passage. Teeth are considered to be outgrowths of the blank of the skin. In mammals, they vary in size and blank, and the dentition is referred to as blank, as opposed to the blank dentition of lower vertebrates. Teeth are thought to have evolved from cartilaginous fish as modified placoid blank. In amphibians and fish, teeth occur all over the blank, while in mammals they are confined to the blank. The exposed part of the tooth covered with a hard substance called blank is referred to as the blank, while the embedded portion is referred to as the blank. And that, viewers, is the problem of the day. Our contestants have finished solving the problem of the day. One from each school will now go to the board to present their solutions. I'll now quickly read through the passage. I'll fill in the blanks as I go along. So we'll see what words we're expecting for this problem. Teeth are considered to be outgrowths of the dermis of the skin. In mammals, they vary in size and shape, and the dentition is referred to as heterodont as opposed to the homodont dentition of lower vertebrates. Teeth are thought to have evolved from cartilaginous fish as modified placoid scales. In amphibians and fish, teeth occur all over the palate, while in mammals they are confined to the jaws. The exposed part of the tooth covered with a hard substance called enamel is referred to as the crown, while the embedded portion is referred to as the root. So that's what we're expecting. The solution from Achimota School, we realized that they got numbers 6 and 7 wrong. We're expecting palate and jaws, palate for number 6 and jaws for number 7. And they didn't get those 2, and so they get 8 out of 10. Now with Koforidua Sectech, in place of shape number 2, they had function. In place of scales, they had jaws. In place of palate, they had body. No, I guess, yeah, in place of palate, they had body, and in place of jaws, they had buccal cavity. So they had 4 incorrect answers, and they get 6 out of 10. The contestants from Achimota have increased their lead by a bit, but it's still a close race. Let's move on to round 4. In this round, most of the questions involve calculation, and so you will have 30 seconds within which to give me an answer. In a few instances, you will have 15 seconds because questions do not involve calculation. And you have a similar one for the first set of questions. I'll start with you, Koforidua Sektek. Give me the names of the mouth parts of the moth. Nathaniel.
Proboscis.
Are you done?
And mandibles.
I'll give you 2 out of 3. We have the proboscis, also known as the maxillae, the mandibles, the labium, and the labrum. Your question, Achimota School. Give me the names of the parts of the leg of a cockroach. Marie.
The coxa, the torus, the femur, the tibia, and the tibia.
Are you done?
And the aurolium.
I'll give you 2 out of 3. You mentioned 4. There are 7 of them. The coxa, the femur, the tibia, the tarsus, the pretarsus, the claw, and the aurolium. Your question, Koforidua Sektek. A man standing some distance from a wall claps his hands and hears the echo 3 seconds later. If the speed of sound in air is 340 meters per second, how far is he from the wall? Carl.
510 meters.
And that is correct. Achimota, if the speed of light in air is 3 times 10 to the 8 meters per second, what is the speed of light in plexiglass of refractive index 1.5? Yes, Stephen.
2 times 10 raised to the power 8.
That is correct. And please don't forget your units, meters per second. Koforidua Sektek, find the values of x for which the function y equals f of x has a stationary value. Your function f of x equals 4x cubed minus 9x squared minus 12x plus 3. Carl.
X is equal to half and S is equal to 2.
Carl, try again. Boy. 2 out of 3. Carl, x is 2 and x is minus half, all right? Achimota School, find the values of x for which the function y equals f of x has a stationary value. F of x equals x raised to power 4 plus 4x cubed plus 4x squared. Yes, Richard.
X is 0, 2, or 1.
Try it harder.
X is 0, -1, or -2.
That is correct. Koforidua Sektek, copper reacts with concentrated H2SO4 to give SO2, water, and copper 2 tetraoxosulfate 6. Write a balanced equation for the reaction. Carl.
Cu solid plus 2H2SO4 aqueous going to SO2 plus 2H2O plus CuSO4.
That is correct. Achimota, hydroiodic acid reduces HNO3 to HNO2, iodine, and water. Write a balanced equation for the reaction. Marie.
2HIO plus HNO3 going into HNO2 plus I2 plus H2O.
Try again, Marie. Boy. Say what you said again.
I said 2HIO3 plus HNO3 going into HNO2 plus I2 plus H2O.
That is not correct. To Koforidua Sectec for a bonus. Carl.
2HI plus HNO3 going to HNO2 plus I2 plus H2O.
And that is correct. Your question, Koforidua Sectec. How many grams of KMNO4 should be dissolved in 100 decimeter cubed of water to give a 25 ppm solution? Carl.
25 times 10 raised to the power minus 3 grams.
No. No. Achimota for a bonus. Yes, Richard.
It's 2.5 grams.
That is correct. Your major question, Achimota, an aerosol can contains a solution of an insecticide in ethanol. The liquid content is 2.5 decimeter cubed, and the concentration of the insecticide is 30 ppm, or 30 parts per million. How much insecticide was dissolved? Richard?
1.2 times 10 raised to the power 4 grams.
No, that is not true. Koforidua for a bonus. Carl, is your hand up?
7.5 grams.
Oh boy, it's not 7.5 grams. It's 75 milligrams or 0.075 grams. All right? Your question, Koforidua Sectec. And there's a preamble to both schools. Find the scalar product of the vectors A and B. Find the scalar product of the vectors A and B, given that, Koforidua, A equals 5i minus 3j, and B equals 4i plus 6j. Yes, Joshua? 2 is correct. Achimota, A equals minus 6i minus 4j, and B equals 7i minus 10j. Richard?
Negative 2.
Negative 2 is correct. Your question, Koforidua Sectec, distinguish between larynx and pharynx. Yes, Carl?
Larynx is the other name for larynx is the voice box. That is the part of the trachea that enables us to talk. That is the voice production. And the pharynx is where the both the esophagus and the trachea meet at. Or the pharynx is the opening of the ear into the buccal cavity. That is where the...
I'll give you 2 out of 3. The pharynx is the passageway for both food and air, and it is the opening that lies between the mouth and the esophagus, whilst the larynx is the upper part, the dilated upper part of your trachea that contains the voice cords, or the vocal cords, and so is also known as the voice box. Your question, Achimota School. Distinguish between ilium, I-L-E-U-M, and ilium, I-L-I-U-M. Marie.
The ileum is a section of the small intestines where absorption of food occurs. And the ileum, ileum, it's a part of the innominate bone, which is joined to the sacral vertebrae.
I'll give you the mark. Your final question in this round, Koforidua Sectec, and there's a preamble to both schools. Please listen. A machine with velocity ratio 8 requires an effort of 16 newtons to raise a load of 80 newtons, 80 newtons. Koforidua Sectec, what is the maximum load that can be raised with this machine by an effort of 13 newtons? Yes, Carl.
5,000.
Yes, Carl.
15,000 newtons.
I'm sorry, that is nowhere close. Achimota for a bonus. The answer is 65 newtons. Achimota, what is the efficiency of this machine? What is the efficiency of this machine? Yes, Richard.
The efficiency is 62.5%.
And that is correct. That brings us to the end of round 4. At the end of round 4, Achimota School has kept its lead. Koforidua Sectec has 54 points. Achimota School has 60 points. Obviously, it's not over until it's over. Good luck to both schools. We are moving on to round 5. In the first part, I'll be reading the clues to some riddles, and both schools will be competing to be the first to solve the riddle. If you're ready to solve the riddle, remember to raise your hand right after ringing the bell. A riddle solved on one clue is worth 5 points. On a second clue, it's worth 4 points. On any other number of clues, it's worth 3 points if you solve a riddle. Remember, if you're unable to solve a riddle correctly, you're out of competition for that particular riddle. And given the closeness of the race, I hope you're cautious enough to get your points and not just throw them away. First riddle. I'm a term very familiar to astronauts, astronomers, and anatomists. I'm a term very familiar to astronauts, astronomers, and anatomists. I'm also known to non-scientists who simply regard me as an area of power or influence. To the anatomist, I am a cavity in the skull. To the astronomer, I am the path through space of one celestial body about another. Who am I? Who rang the bell? Carl.
Orbit.
Orbit is correct. To the second riddle. To the second riddle, I am a measuring device. The non-scientist would expect me to explode, but I do not. This indicates that I am special, especially since I can contain all volume changes. What would you say if I told you that I am in the energy business? Heat energy changes can be measured using me. Carl.
Calorimeter.
I can't believe this. I'll continue. That is incorrect. Heat energy changes can be measured using me. Results that obtained can be used to compute enthalpies of formation. Who am I? Who am I? Stephen.
A bomb calorimeter.
And that is correct. I keep cautioning my contestants, but they keep throwing caution to the wind. In in the riddles, every clue counts. Every clue counts. And we said the non-scientists would expect me to explode, which means that the bomb is very, very important. It is the bomb calorimeter and not just any kind of calorimeter. To the third riddle, I am a type of matter. The first half of my name denotes a fraction. Scientists consider me ideal for calculations. I am a type of matter, though I almost defy the definition of matter. I am by nature not a dirty fellow, but people often associate me with dust. I am used in one of the models for the nature of light. Who am I? Stephen?
Chromatic.
No. Carl?
Plasma.
No. And the answer is particle. To the last riddle. I am an angle, or better still, I am the measure of an angle. I am easily constructible. I am associated with a special right triangle with two sides congruent. You can say I am half right all the time. Joshua, that is correct. And now to the second part of round 5. In this part, I'll be reading some statements and contestants are to determine whether they are true or false. A correct answer earns you 2 points. An incorrect answer attracts a penalty of -1. I'll start with you, Achimota School. If two events A and B are mutually exclusive, then probability of A union B equals probability of A plus probability of B. Stephen?
True.
That is correct. Koforidua sec, ozone is an isotope of oxygen. Carl?
False.
That is correct. Achimota, the change in position of an object is referred to as displacement. Stephen?
False.
Oh, Stephen, that is true. Koforidua, the density of an object varies at different points on the Earth's surface. Carl?
False.
That is correct. It's getting hot. It's getting very hot. At Achimota School, the nucleus of a cell is an organelle. The nucleus of a cell is an organelle. Stephen?
True.
That is correct. Koforidua, if two events A and B are independent, then probability of A intersect B equals 0. Carl?
True.
I'm sorry. Carl, it should be the product of the probabilities of the two events. Your statement at Achimota School, hydrogen forms only 2 oxides. Hydrogen forms only 2 oxides. Stephen?
True.
That is true. Koforidua sec, the main factor that controls the rate of breathing is the oxygen content of blood. Nathaniel?
False.
Correct. Achimota, capacitors in parallel behave like springs in series. Stephen?
True.
I'm sorry that... Koforidua sec, 2-methylbutanol and pentanol have the same molecular formula. Joshua?
False.
Oh no. That is true. Your statement, Achimota, the expression a squared minus ab plus b squared is an exact square. Richard.
False.
That is correct. Koforidua glycolysis occurs in the nucleus of the cell. Nathaniel.
False.
Correct. Achimota, non-cyclic compounds with the same molecular formula but different positions of the functional group are geometric isomers. Stephen.
It's true.
I'm sorry. Koforidua sectec. When a person walks forward, the frictional force at his feet acts in the direction of his motion. Carl.
False.
Oh no. And now to the last two statements. Achimota, your statement, breathing out is a passive process. Stephen.
True.
And that is correct. Your last statement, Koforidua sectec, the expression a squared plus 4ab plus 4b squared is an exact square. Carl.
True.
That is correct. Viewers, at the end of the contest, here are the scores. Koforidua sectec has 67 points. Achimota School has 74. I'm very sorry, Koforidua sectec. You lost, but you certainly were not disgraced. You gave Achimota School a contest of a lifetime. Congratulations, Achimota School. You have made it to the next stage of the competition, and I look forward to seeing you. Thank you once again, Koforidua sectec, for coming on to the program. We look forward to seeing you sometime in the future. Here's where we draw down the curtain on the program for today. Make a date with me, same time next week. Next week, the contest will be between Pijai Secondary School and St. Francis Xavier Secondary School. Keep the date open. Enjoy your weekend. Bonjour, cherished viewers, and welcome to the program. Today's contest is the 13th in the preliminary series. Very soon we'll be done with the preliminary series. Today's contest is between Apam Secondary School and Accra Girls Secondary School. The contestants from Accra Girls are to my immediate right, and they are
Lina Papu, SS3.
Abnachum Danso, SS3.
Shaun Lai, SS3.
To the far right, we have Apam Secondary School represented by
Ahmed Roslyn, SS3.
Marilyn Matikimati, SS3.
Emma Ishen, SS3.
Viewers, last year, Apam Secondary fielded an all-male team. This year, they have decided to feature an all-female team. And as fate would have it, they are meeting with Accra Girls, which of course is an all-girls school. So we have an all-ladies affair today, and we'll see how it goes. As usual, we'll have our 5 rounds of competition, and as a general rule, anyone from each school may answer a question posed to that school. You have 15 seconds within which to give me an answer in round 1. A major question answered correctly is worth 3 points. If you answer a major question incorrectly, I may pass it on for a bonus point of 1 when it's attempted only once and answered correctly. I'll start with you, Accra Girls. Find the image of the point 3,2 under a reflection in the line y equals x. And 2,3 is correct. Apam Secondary, find the image of the point 1,3 under a reflection in the line y equals 0. Roslyn.
1-3.
Roslyn, try again. Yes, Marilyn.
1-3.
And 1-3 is correct. Accra Girls, your question. What is meant by normal in reflection? Abna.
The normal is the perpendicular line, which is perpendicular to the plane surface or the mirror surface.
I'll give you 2 out of 3. It is the imaginary line, actually. It's not a line that is there. It's an imaginary line perpendicular to the reflecting surface at the point of reflection. Your question, Apam Secondary. How is the acute angle between an incident ray and a reflecting surface called?
The angle of incidence.
It is not the angle of incidence. Emma.
The angle of reflection.
It is not the angle of refraction.
Reflected angle.
No. So Accra Girls for a bonus. Yes, leader.
The incident ray.
It is not the incident ray. You know, the angle of incidence is the angle between your incident ray and the normal that we just talked about. But the acute angle between the incident ray and the reflecting surface is called the glancing angle. The glancing angle. Your question, Accra Girls. What is the systematic name for the ester formed from ethanol and methanoic acid? Lena.
Ethyl ethanoate.
It's not ethyl ethanoate. Oh boy. Yes, Sharon.
Methyl ethanoate.
No. Marilyn for a bonus.
Ethyl methanoate.
And it's ethyl methanoate. Ethyl methanoate. Upon Secondary, what is the systematic name for the ester formed from benzoic acid and methanol?
Methyl benzoate.
And that is correct. Accra Girls, fill in the blank in the following statement. In a population where births exceed deaths, population increases until the blank is reached. Fill in the blank.
Climax.
Not climax. Not climax. Yes, Abna again.
Mortality rate.
Oh no. In a population where births exceed deaths, population increases until the blank is reached. For a bonus upon...
Until a stable community is reached.
No, I won't take that. Until the carrying capacity is reached. Until the carrying capacity is reached. Upon your question, in ecology, what does carrying capacity mean? Yes, Marilyn.
It is the situation in which, for a particular organism,
the amount of food or the amount of food the organism can take depends on the number of organisms in that area.
Marley, you haven't said anything. You didn't say anything. Aqua girls, Abna.
The situation whereby the death rate is balanced by the birth rate.
Oh no, that is not true. Carrying capacity is